Please remember that all the opinions in the show are those of the host and should only be taken as food for thought. We're in no way telling you to do anything. Everything is kept anonymous for the safety of the listeners and no information is shared to anyone else. If you are easily offended by people's opinions or views, then thank you for making it this far, but this is not the podcast for you, so see you later. And please enjoy the rest of the show. Welcome everyone to another episode of Two Men No Hope, the show where you get annoying noises from Jamie because he likes to eat chewy sweets before we go on to start recording.
They can't hear that. Only you heard that, Dan.
But now it's in their head, Jamie. Now they know. I was planning on opening this episode with a P. Diddy game, but funny enough, I couldn't make it work. I thought I was like, I'm gonna do a don't laugh thing for Jamie.
All right.
And I'm just gonna reel off all the new P. Diddy jokes because there must be thousands of them. Nothing.
It's all about they just renaming like the diddler and stuff, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's no
and there's like stories. There's nothing. I was just like, fuck's sake. I thought there'd be. I suppose it's not the generation, is it, for one-line jokes anymore? It's all about storytelling and fucking
memes and shit.
Yeah. So I was like, well, that's shit then. But I'm gonna have to go back to the drawing board. But it will be coming. It just probably won't be about P. Diddy now. Although, fucked up shit about Liam Payne this morning, wasn't it?
Yeah. I was I know he had like drugs and alcohol issues in the past, but there's like loads of stuff's come out throughout the day as well, like where they're calling the police and stuff to try and get him to come to the room because they're worried about him and stuff because he's smashing the room up when he is awake and stuff like that. And then there's a video of him signing autographs where he's absolutely mangled and stuff like that.
Yeah,
he was just obviously going through a hard time, wasn't
he? Yeah. Well, I saw a video of him that morning at his breakfast table with his girlfriend. I'm assuming it's his girlfriend. Like, happy as Larry. There's nothing wrong with him.
Yeah, but I think that was when he was sober, innit? I think once because he's struggling with sobriety, I think once he got off the wagon, he goes crazy. And I think that's what happened.
Of course, everything goes back to P. Diddy, which is why I brought it up this morning. Because a clip had surfaced of him on Graham Norton. Did you see it?
Oh, yeah, discussing going, seeing him at a party.
Yeah. And then Salima Hayek, whatever her name is, she went white as a sheet. And as Liam started listing off all the people that he was seeing there, fucking David Walliams jumps in and like cuts him off. And I'm just like, they're all fucking, it's mental. They're on it.
Everyone knew what was going on.
And then I was thinking to myself, I was like, isn't it a funny coincidence how Alec Baldwin was going through all this stuff with the shooting and all that sort of thing. And then once P. Diddy's arrested, his case gets dropped because the evidence there's something wrong with the evidence now. And he got off.
Who, Alec Baldwin?
Yeah.
And but he should have got off anyway. I don't know why.
Yeah, no, of course he should have done, yeah. But I mean, it makes you think, doesn't it? Because what if he had done something or said something and they
could have done
paid some guy to put a bullet in that gun that he shot that woman with, and now that P. Diddy's gone away, they're like, what's the point? Or whatever.
Don't pursue it, yeah.
Yeah, and let him off. It just seems such a weird... Like, if there was something wrong with the evidence, surely they should have known that fucking months ago. It's been in court for ages.
I think P. Diddy's been caught out because of what I said in... I don't know if it was the last episode or the episode before, but about where he's tried to go up against The Rock and they've put investigators in on them. I think that's what's ended up being his downfall. So I'm hoping we see more than I think we'll see. But as we keep talking about it, I just know they're going to see nothing. Not even scratching the surface.
I try not to bring it up because it's a bit like the politics, right? Like the listeners are going to be like, please shut up about Diddy. I just don't
Eventually, give a fuck we'll get an email moaning at us.
I can't help it. It's so much easier. My brother came back from Florida. He made it home safe and sound. And he bought me a T-shirt that I was going to wear today, but I haven't had a shower yet, so I didn't want to make it dirty. Would you like? Can you read that, Jamie?
That's brilliant.
What does it say?
I'm not gay, but $20 is $20. I'm pretty sure someone that sent us an email in quoting that almost directly.
Mum was like, "Oh, I think he's listened to your podcast." I was like, "Yeah, he does listen to my podcast." Yeah. But I was like, "Thank you very much." I was obviously I was like, "I'll wear that all the fucking time," and then I was thinking about the implications of someone's going to be hurt by it.
Oh yeah, well,
You know what I mean? And I'm just like, do I put up the aggravation or do I just fuck it? I don't know. I'll probably end up just wearing it.
yeah, fuck it. It's not. It's not exactly offensive towards gay people, is it?
No, because I'm
Someone
offering
will
to.
find it offensive, but it's not offensive towards gay people.
No, because I'm offering to suck someone off. Of
Yeah.
course, I want to be paid for it. Yeah, I mean, but who doesn't want to be paid for their actions? You know what I mean? It makes any sense. But yeah, so yeah, I was right. He basically went fucking cross country in. So like when the hurricane hit, he wasn't even in Florida.
That's good. That's good because it was a fucking shit show over there. When
Yeah, I think he was either in Alabama or he was in Georgia. I can't remember. But like basically, I was like, what happened? And he was like, oh, so the pony convention was in Florida, but then
right,
when he got there for like 3 days, so it's like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then his mate Adam, who's like a veteran traveler, he's the one I said that moved to Australia for a little while.
yeah,
He's like, oh, let's rent a car. So they rent a car, and he's just like fucking. They went everywhere, Miami and Alabama and Georgia and Florida Keys, and
really.
apparently it took him 10 hours to drive all the way to Georgia.
I don't. Yeah, it's further than most of our country.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, because for me to drive to you is like 7 hours.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean that's fucking mental. But yeah, he had a good time. He apparently ate loads. He kept going on about this place called Bucky's. I'd never heard of it before. It's like a petrol station that sold like everything.
No, really, I've never heard of it either.
And he's got like a t-shirt, a fucking cuddly toy of it. He's got key rings of it. It's like a squirrel or something, I think. He's fucking obsessed. He's got a magnet. I'm like, fair enough. Whatever's here.
So, what
And
did
then
he fly back
apparently,
out of Florida?
yeah. So his
Ah,
flight
so
got cancelled.
he
And
he drove everywhere and then drove back to Florida.
drove back. Yeah.
Fucking hell, that's crazy.
And Adam did all the driving. I don't think any of them did any driving.
That's crazy. Well,
His
that's
mate's
good.
crazy.
That's a fucking good experience, man.
Oh yeah, for his first massive holiday, and he ended up doing
Yeah.
fucking mental. Yeah, Adam's the one that I said to you when they left. All he had was like a backpack for like 2 weeks. Yeah, yeah, it's fucking crazy. When did we last record? Last week. How was your weekend?
Brilliant. Yeah. Well, as the listeners know, I did a last minute little trip away to Palma, and it was like I would definitely recommend going to Palma, man. It's like having like a cool city break with all like the normal city break stuff, but like in warmer weather, so you're not like freezing your ball. Normally, when you do a city break, you're freezing your balls off walking around the city.
Hmm.
Where this is like a bit of both. So in the mornings and that, we were going out and doing a lot. And then by the time it was like afternoon time, we'd come back and then we had like a rooftop pool. So we'd just sit by the pool for an hour or so and then go out in the evening. It was like, it made 3 days feel like a week, and it like was a proper good reset. I feel much better. I'm still a little bit ill, but I feel much better than I did before. I'm not old man Jamie no more.
Oh man, I was editing that the other day, and I just kept laughing because every time I looked away, I could just hear you, and I'm like, "Who the fuck is that?" Yeah.
And
has that come out yet? Because we haven't had any emails about it.
the first one come out, yeah. The second one I sound a bit better, but the first one's come out. But we don't just you wait. There will be some emails because when I was editing it, at one point I'm talking and then my voice goes halfway through the sentence, and I'm like, "Fucking hell!" People can't understand what I'm saying, but we'll see. Charlotte decided on the second day that she wanted to get like this. There was loads of tattoo shops around, so she wanted to get a little tattoo, like a little silhouette of like a wine glass, which is something to do with Adele's song "I Drink Wine" or something. So then I was sitting in the tattoo shop and I was like, "Oh, it's been ages. It's been a while since I've had a tattoo." Yeah.
Yeah, but we all remember what happened to you when you went on holiday and got a tattoo.
This is why I as a rule, never do it when I've been drinking. Yeah. So then this is before we fully got. We had a few cocktails, but we weren't drunk or anything. And I was sitting there and I was like, "Oh, I'm planning to get my hand done on
Right.
the arm that I've got a sleeve of."
Mm.
And I was like, "Oh, I might just start it and get like a little thing." And then I was like, "How much is it to get like a rose head?" He was like, "I don't know, like €300 or something." And he wanted like 2.5 hours to do it. And I was like, "No, I'm not going to do that." So then I was like, can I just start with? I wanted to get like the B for the Boston Celtics, so I got like a little B on the side of my hand as like to start off my hand, yeah. And I got back to England, and Mum, I hadn't even spoke to Mum properly yet, and I was like stroking Rocco as I went to pick him up, and she was like, "What the fuck is that in your hand?" Not even hello, not even how was your weekend. What the fuck is that? She like was that observational that she clocked it straight away, and it's and then when I'm sitting there explaining, she's like, "Who's Boston Celtics?" As though I haven't spoke about them for the last 4 fucking years. And I was like, I was trying to do because you know how like England fans and like football fans and stuff have like their badges, and it looks really like chavvy and trampy to have like an England badge put on your arm as a tattoo.
I mean, in general, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You know the type of people I'm talking about, innit? Like,
Yeah.
they're an Arsenal fan, so they got an Arsenal fucking badge.
Yeah,
on
they
their arm.
wear like their skin is like fucking paper, like white paper.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Like, they wear like sleeveless tops with a fucking
And they've
pale
got
flag.
like the 4 lions. We fight for freedom on the side of their fucking.
Yeah.
So that was what I was trying to avoid. So I thought if I just get a little subtle B that will be on the side of my normal hand tattoo, no one's going to know unless they actually ask me what it's for. It's not going to be like a sports reference tattoo
Yeah, but now you've got it.
without the other bit.
Yeah, it makes
Yeah.
more sense to. But now you've just got a B, so it's going to make
Yeah.
everyone ask even more questions about it.
Which I wasn't anticipating.
I'll be like, oh, is that how you remember what hand you do your blowjobs with?
So I went in. I dealt with Mum the night before, and then I went into work, and then someone clocked it straight away, and they goes, "Is that B for bumholes?" And then
There you go.
next person's like, "Oh, is that B for boobies?" And then I just got fucking rattled by it. So lo and behold, I've booked my fucking hand tattoo. So it's going to happen quicker, sooner.
Wait,
rather
let me
than
see it.
later.
Let me see it. Where's this B?
There.
Oh, okay.
It's like on the side, so I'm going to get this bit finished.
I
And then I'm getting
don't know
them-
why I thought it was going to be like between your thumb, like there, like between.
That's
your thumb
where
and
he
finger.
wanted me to do it, but I was like,
Yeah, that's
no.
what.
Because I've got like things. I'm gonna get a thistle, you know, like a Scottish thistle,
Yeah.
and then I'm gonna get like an Irish clover and stuff like that on the ends of my fingers.
Mm.
So I've got everything that I worked out what I wanted it, but I started it with something small, and I was like, I should have just fucking sat for 2 hours and got the rose.
I would have been like, mate, you got that wrong. It's supposed to be like right. It's your right hand, not B. What's that? Bell end. Because I thought about doing that once, getting left and right. Because like I'm not. Obviously, I know because I drive. I know my left and my right. But sometimes like I get it wrong. Same with like my B's and D's. Like things like that, I always get wrong.
Yeah.
And I was like, should I get left and right on my hand? I'm like, nah. There's a woman on TikTok that I used to follow. She's got like she hasn't got any hands. She's got like these like stumps
Right.
with like a nail on the end of it. She's fucking hilarious. I can't remember her name. I'm really sorry, I can't remember her name. She does all this. She's a bit of a hippie, but because she has no hands, she got all these hand signals tattooed on her arm. So she's got like a thumbs up, a thumbs down,
That's pretty cool.
and stuff like that. So like she's like, if anyone asks me something, I just point to it. I'm like, that's fucking brilliant. They look fucking quality as well. I have to find out what her name was. She's fucking hilarious. I found her because she did this video. Because everyone, obviously, she's got no hands. So everyone's like, how'd you do this? How'd you do that? And they're like, how'd you do the washing up and whatever? And she's got one of them scrub daddies.
Oh yeah.
And she
Like
just
an
puts her
attachment.
nubbin through the eye. And she's got it on an end of her hand. And she uses it like a fucking brilliant. Class. No, that's good, man. Yeah, no, I've never. Maybe I'll get one when I go to Prague. Get a tattoo.
It started my. Do you know when you know what it's like because you've had a few tattoos? Once you get one, it reignites your little fucking addiction.
Mm.
And I've already started looking at design because I've always needed to finish my other arm and do other bits of me that I wanted to get finished. But it's one of them things where because they're expensive, you just keep putting it to the wayside.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like saying to Charlotte, next year we got to fucking focus on not going on as many holidays and sort our lives out and just fucking stay at home. So I'm going to just get covered in tattoos instead.
She would never be able to not go see Adele. You'll be doing really well. It'd be like 6 months into next year, and she's doing really well. And like Adele comes out with a concert, she can't get tickets, so she whaps like $2,000 on a VIP, and actually back to get in.
Well, it's like this weekend. Yeah, this weekend's my birthday on Monday.
Yeah, yeah,
So on Sunday, I'm going to the NFL. The NFL are playing in Wembley.
right.
So me and my two brothers, we're going to go and watch the uh, Patriots versus the Jaguars. Yeah.
Hmm.
And I was like, oh, Charlotte, because I picked her up from Wembley that time, can you pick me up? She was like, yeah, 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 whatever. And then she texted me this morning saying, can you call me when you wake up? So I'm like thinking, oh, fuck, something's happened, yeah. So I called her and she's like, oh, I can't take you Sunday. And I was like, oh, why? She's like, I'm going. And I was like, what do you mean you're going? And basically her mate's fiance has got a box in Wembley, and Charlotte and her friends are going to go and watch the NFL game in the box in Wembley. So I was like, you're one up in my birthday present.
That's bullshit, man. I would kick off. I would actually kick off. Like, I'll be fucking fuming, man.
I
I'll
was
be
like,
if anything, you should fucking swap tickets with me.
yeah,
I'll
put
get
me
in the
in the
fucking
box.
box. Yeah, yeah. And you use my fucking tickets. Oh, mate, I'll be like, I'd say to her, like, look at my seats when you're in that box, because I'm just be fucking staring at you. Like, I'm gonna miss the whole game because I'm staring at you in that fucking box.
I'm in the rafters and she's in the box, in it. And then I just said to her like, because I don't really give a shit. Do you know what I mean? But
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was just like, you can't not do things, can you? And she was like, well, I won't go. I'll pick you up then. I won't go. And she's like trying to be a martyr about it. I was just like, no, I don't care that much. I'm trying to wind you up, but at the same time, like, fucking, you can't just let me go and do something.
Yeah, yeah. To be fair though, never understood like the boxes because they're fucking miles away.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're like above the
when we
thing.
looked, she's actually further away than I am.
Yeah, like yeah, I get that you're above everyone else and you can look down,
Yeah.
but you're further away. Like I'd much rather be fucking to the side.
Hospitality is the best because if you go hospitality, you can do like a private bar. There's like a private bar you can go to during
Mm.
intermissions and stuff, and then you can go right down near the front
All
as a
right.
hospitality. But if you have to get them, you have to be really coy about being able to get them because they're not really that expensive. So you just have to know the right people and get them. But it's hard work.
Yeah, there's a guy at work that's like I've spoke about him before. He's like a massive Rangers fan,
Mm.
and he sometimes go to hospitality and they get like all the alcohol for free and
Yeah,
all their
yeah,
food and
it's
shit.
pretty good. When you
And like
work it
so.
out, I would drink £300 worth of alcohol and fucking a game of NFL. So you'd easily make your money back.
Oh yeah, yeah. I was talking to him about Amsterdam.
Mm.
I can't remember what I was saying about Amsterdam. I was saying something, and he was saying about how he went to this place. I can't remember. It's called Banana something,
Oh
and he
yeah,
was
yeah.
like, "What's it called? Do you know what it's called? Banana."
I think it's just called Banana Club or something.
Something like that, but he basically said you go in there and there's like women shooting ping pong balls out their fanny and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
He's like, but you pay like €30, €50. This was ages ago, but like, so it's probably a lot more now. He's like, you pay €50, you get in and like you can drink as much as you want. And I was like, mate, that's fucking blinding, getting smashed and having like ping pong balls fly into your fucking pint and shit. Sounds
yeah. That'd be
amazing.
cool. Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, but there's a catch. You can only go in there for half an hour. And I'm like, well, then line them fuckers up because I'm drinking my fucking money. Then I'm getting out of here.
Why do you
But
think
he
like
said,
women get so smashed up at fucking bottomless brunches? I think they have like 2 hours to drink as much prosecco as possible, so they're literally like, dunk, 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 like knocking them back. I've got picked Charlotte up sometimes, and they're on the floor screaming, and it's 2 in the afternoon, bruv, and they're absolutely everyone's smashed.
oh, living the life. But he was saying that when he was there, he paid one of the women to write a postcard and the pen was in her vagina,
That's
and
pretty
she
cool.
actually wrote out on the postcard, with that, and then they posted it to this guy's wife, and they were like laughing. They were like, "You wait till that turns up and she finds out how it was written." I'm like, how the fuck did she do that, man? That's got to be a fucking
That's some
what they
hip.
call
That's
that,
some hip action, man.
pelvic floor. Don't they call that
Yeah,
pelvic
yeah,
floor?
yeah.
Fucking hell. I'm lucky if I can, have my balls hanging between my legs, let alone hold a pen down there.
Mate, Charlotte did this funny thing, slightly off subject, but it reminds me because you're talking about writing.
I was gonna say if it's not something to do with a pen.
She's been watching an Apple show on Apple TV, yeah.
Right.
That's in French. and I come down. We were talking about downloading stuff for the plane, and I come down the stairs and she was watching it. I was like, why don't you just download that? And she's like, oh, I don't know if I can be bothered because the subtitles would be really small on the plane and all that stuff on her iPad.
All
I
right.
was like, why don't you just get it dubbed? And she was like, she didn't answer me, yes. Then I walked off, and a couple of days later, we're getting ready to go on the plane. And she goes to me, I've watched 5 episodes of that program in French, and I've realised I can dub it. So I
That's
was
why she
like,
didn't say anything. She's like, you're a dick.
I was like, you sat through 5 episodes of reading subtitles, and you could have fucking had it dubbed the whole time. And she's like, yeah. I was like, shy am I went.
Sometimes though, I'd prefer it without the dubbing because sometimes the voices are really bad.
It depends what it is. A lot of the time, do you know if it's like the Japanese stuff?
Yeah.
I tend to turn it back to normal, to subtitled. So because
Mm.
the replacement voice, a lot of the time, the Japanese is always the same guy as well, and it throws me off.
Yeah, because Sabina was saying that like the voices have changed over there because like back in the day, like you said, like they had the same people,
Mm.
and he was like their voice is really good, but she's like now these new people are fucking terrible. Like it's just awful. But I'd watch them as they are. What we watched a Czech movie the other day, I don't know what it was called, and it was about these 3 guys that always every year go up to like this cabin in the hills
Yeah.
and winter, and the wives get together and they convince them to take the kids with them, and it's all about them. It's like an old style Czech movie, and I enjoyed it. It reminded me of like a Carry On movie,
Ah, right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but they did not give a fuck about child nudity.
Really?
No,
There's a lot of.
like I'm like because obviously I'm reading the subtitles, right? My Czech's okay to a beginner level, but it's not that good. So I'm like looking down and I'm like reading the subtitles, and I look up and there's just all these little fucking
Naked
willies
kids.
flapping all about. Yeah, yeah. And then one of the girls shaves her hair off because the dad's like, oh, it's a lad's thing. So she shaves her hair off in the story, and she's like, I'm a boy, I'm a boy.
Mm.
So I'm looking, and I'm like, that's a boy. And then he pulls out, and then there you go. There's a full on fledged.
Too
I
much.
don't. I was gonna, yeah. I was going to try and say something, but everything would be offensive to a child. But like, I was like, what the fuck is going on? It made me laugh because I'm just like, this is an old movie. And Sabina's
Yeah,
like, yeah.
this is
And
before fucking regulations come in.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So there's like 6 kids lined up like starkers and they're pouring cold water over them.
What the
And then I
fuck?
was cracking up because they had a baby and he's
Mm.
like washing the baby in like a sink with hot
Mm.
water. And then he just picks the baby up by the back, like you would, and then just dips him in a cold bath of water. It's just a bucket outside. He just dips him in, and the baby's like crying his fucking eyes out, like it must have been freezing. And he just goes, "The cold water makes him stronger." And I'm just like, "That's fucking amazing." I was like, "That's check for you right there." His poor
Check.
little Winky, like shriveled up like a fucking raisin. But yeah,
I was watching last night. I was watching quite a good film. It was surprising actually. It's a Halle Berry film. It's just come out called "Don't Let Go."
oh, I really enjoyed that, but Sabina didn't like it.
Yeah, I thought that was good, man.
Yeah, me too, because
Good
it
little
kept you
twists and
guessing
turns in
like
it. Yeah,
what was going on.
because you don't know
Yeah.
whether she's just mental or whether there is actually something there, and whether there is other people in the world. Do you know what it reminded me of? Do you remember it was the John Goodman film when he is like in it was Cloverfield something Lane or
Oh, 10
something.
Cloverfield Lane.
Yeah, so like
Love
he's like
that
we
film.
can't go upstairs, but then he took them before the actual anything had happened, so you don't know whether there is actually stuff out there or if the world has ended or not.
Yeah.
It was like a similar vibe, and it was like a thriller all the way through, and it kept you going.
Fucking, he is a scary man. Like,
Yeah, he
fucking
can be.
hell. Like,
Yeah,
he was terrifying in that fucking movie.
yeah, it was, man, because he was fully unhinged.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Love that man. He's so good. But then he's gone the same way as all the other actors. He's gone like really thin and he's got like vagina neck.
Yeah, Ozempic and that.
Yeah. They, we were watching that 90 Days. I always bring it up because we're always watching it. And you know, I told you about that woman that's like, how did she get a face job in Ethiopia? And we're watching the season now, and she looks even worse now. And I'm like, this is the same fucking season. What's going on here? And Sabina's like, oh, it looks like weight loss because you can tell by her stomach. But I'm like, what kind of weight loss lifts your nose? And like, she looks like fucking one of the Hortons. I'll tell you that right now. The Who's, sorry. Like, it's so bad. Like, to the point where like her nose is lifted, it's pulled her lip up, and now she's got a lot of teeth when she talks.
Oh no, that's my worst nightmare.
Like,
Have I said that on the
fucking
podcast before about the amount of gummage that froze?
yeah. No, I'm kind of my teeth are so bad. I'm kind of glad that my mouth just stays shut. To be honest.
I was watching Married at First Sight, and there's a guy that has no. He's telling her that he doesn't like curvy women, and he's the shape of a Roblox fucking character, yeah. And and he's like, I don't date curvy women in general, so you're not really my type. And I was thinking he has no room to talk. But the only thing I back him up on is that there's a lot of when she smiles, it's like 50% gum. Like there's bit of teeth going on, but it's all gum up here. And I'm just like, bruv, there's no need to see that amount of gum. You don't. You can learn how to smile differently. Like, because I don't smile with all my teeth out, so people don't have to get their entire gum out. Do you know what I mean? It's disgusting. Really puts me off people when I see that amount of gum.
Talking about that weight loss drug thing, did you see that the government want to give it to unemployed people because they feel that if they lost weight, they'd want to do work?
Fucking go for it.
They want to make it free. They want to give it to unemployed people for free, so
They
they
ought
get
to
back
give
to
it to
work.
people that actually need it at the minute, because I've been going to the doctors for a while about trying to get help with weight loss, and
Yeah.
they're making me jump through about a million hoops before I could get anything like that. So if they start handing it to fucking Terry, who ain't worked since 1996, and I'm just still standing there telling them how many calories I've done at the end of the week, I will fucking kick off big time.
I saw as well that Jamaica want 200 million in reparations for the slave trade.
Well, good. What, Jamaica?
What do you mean good? Because it would make that means they want us to pay them. It means our taxes would go up so they could get reparations.
Don't they already have reparations? I'm pretty sure they do. They want more.
No, I think they've been fighting for it for a while, and every time they bring it up, it gets more and more and more. And one guy was like, "Oh, 200 million is it's an underestimate. It equates more to 17 billion. No, was it 17 trillion?" I'm like, "Where are you getting these fucking numbers?"
It wouldn't be just the UK anyway, because the Spanish and the Portuguese were worse than us. They said it'd be everyone. It
No,
would be
they
everyone.
specifically said us.
Yeah, it would be us and everyone. They would include everyone in that number.
I just think it's just got to the. I just think everyone's like, "Oh, the UK is really soft. Just ask for anything." Because I saw a thing the other day because I'm trying to stay away from it, all right, because it makes me sick. But I saw that with I can't remember what country it was. Argentina want the Falklands back. I'm like, what do you mean you want them back? Like, it's fucking ours. Then you go fuck off.
Who have you ever seen the Falklands? Who gives a shit about the Falklands? It's like
It's like
a
it's a
desolate fucking island in the middle of nowhere. No one gives a fuck. I don't understand what it does for anyone other than just fucking force us to pay more money towards some cunts that live on the other side of the world. Like, I don't give a shit about the
it's
Falklands.
a strategic thing or something. It's something to do like if we went to war, it's like an advantage to have the country.
We'd
I
be
don't know, but it
fucked
just
anyway.
like it's just got to the point. Yeah, we are. Yeah, where it's like everyone's just sort of like, oh, I want that, and England have it, so I'm just going to ask them for it.
I think what it is at the minute, we're in a weird thing at the minute where we're not involved in any direct conflict. So it's like bubbling under the surface while Russia and Ukraine kick off and go further and further, and then the fucking thing in Israel gets further and further along. Everything will bubble under the surface, and we'll get all this bullshit because it's peacetime for us. And then after a while, we'll be fully involved, and it will be back to like Iraq days where all they give a shit about is funding the armed forces. That's what it will be.
I was I was listening to this Polish guy, Dominic. Everyone's probably seen him all over the thing. He was on a podcast. I can't remember his name. Dominic. I'm not even going to try and say his last name because it would just be fucking. But he's like a government representative for Poland, and he's in the United Nations.
Mm.
And He's fucking brilliant. Did you know that? I didn't realize that Poland built a massive wall
Where?
on their borders. I can't remember what it's called, but they built they basically was like we took Trump's idea and we built a wall to stop
I
people
know they're
illegals.
super anti-immigration.
Yeah, so to stop people coming in, and then when they built the wall, one of the illegal immigrants threw a spear and killed one of the soldiers. So then the government passed a law that they're allowed to use live ammunition. So he was like, if you want to come to Poland legally, be my guest. If you want to come illegally, we will shoot and we will kill you. And I was like, I love this man. I was like, this is fucking brilliant. and he keeps going, live like Poland, be like Poland. So now when I go into work and I see Peter, I just like live like Poland, be like Poland, like yelling at him. It's fucking brilliant. But it's a really good podcast actually. Just to I don't know what the actual podcast was called. Let me have a look. But it's really interesting to listen to hear their sides. It was called PBD podcast. I don't know. It's pretty good though. I didn't realize either because obviously he works for United Nations, right? The one that we left. We left because of Brexit, right? We left all of that.
Yeah. We didn't leave the United Nations.
Well, it's basically the same thing, isn't it? European Union or whatever it is.
Yeah.
He was saying that the European Union building hasn't had hot water for like 3 years. And he was like, all the videos you see of the president of the European Union, I can't remember her name, a woman, Heidi or Helga or something. He was like, the videos during COVID you see of her in the United Nations building washing her hands. She was washing her hands with cold water because there's no hot water in.
How have they not managed to sort out plumbing in like a government building like that? That's fucking mental.
It just cracks me up. He's sort of like, yeah, it's just cold water. It's like, no one knows. He's like, I'm telling you now. He's like, this is where you hear it. It's like, because he was like, fix your plumbing because he works there. But I was like, how could they be the people that were like, you need to wash your hands during COVID and there's no hot water because cold water didn't do jack?
Well, it's the same way we were told to stay at home and they're all having fucking parties, mate. It's the exact same bullshit, isn't it? It's
fucking mental. I just think the whole thing is fucking funny.
Men are dirty bastards, though, because every time I go to toilet at work, there's always 3 or 4 people that walk in that leave without washing their hands. And I'm thinking, have you not learnt your fucking lesson?
Oh, mate. Have
you not learnt your lesson, you filthy fucking bastards? I cannot literally deal with how dirty some people are sometimes.
Oh, yeah, I know. I bring it up all the time about my work and how the fucking disgusting people are. Oh, did you hear from the listener at all about my Duolingo, whether it was him or not?
No, not heard nothing yet.
Has that episode come out yet?
That would have been Friday's episode, I think. He might not have listened yet. People don't listen straight away necessarily.
Yeah, I know, but you know what I'm like and who I think it is. So it's playing on my mind because he keeps liking all my fucking achievements. I'm like, bugger off, freaking me out.
Just block him.
No, I can't do that because if it's a listener, I'm quite happy for him to follow me. But please remember, all the opinions in the show are those of the host. You're only taking as food for thought. We're in no way telling you to do anything. Everything is kept anonymous for the safety of the listeners and no information shared to anyone else. If you're easily offended by people's opinions or views, then thank you for making it this far, but it's not the podcast for you. See you later. Please enjoy the rest of the show. Please remember that our merch is live. I keep saying it, but I'm going to keep saying it. Just go onto our beacons. You find hats, t-shirts, jumpers, bags, wherever you like. Winter's coming up. You get some nice hats. They're pretty good. Beanies. And then you find a 20% off Essence Vault as well when you go on there. All great gifts in 33.
I'm literally going to buy everyone's presents from Essence Vault this year.
I thought you were going to say for the merch thing. I've got to stop saying when I was editing all those videos, it was driving me fucking mad. But I don't know how to break it up. Like it's
easier said than done, isn't it?
Yeah, that's me saying to everyone that email's finished without saying that email's finished. But no one's complained yet, and we're 132 episodes in, so just keep going. I'm bored in life. I really don't know what changes to make, but it's gone stale. My job, my girl, my town. Not sure what to do to help out of this slump. Have you guys dealt with this type of thing before?
Did he say his job, his girl, and his town?
Home. Oh, it's town, yeah. I think it's more the routine he's sick of, right? I don't think like
Yeah,
because you get in that.
I would say you can easily get yourself into like a rut of like day to day life, especially with like working and stuff. I think that one of the best things for you to do is to step out of it. It doesn't necessarily mean leaving your girlfriend or doing this or leaving your job or whatever, but maybe just go away somewhere or go and do something in your days off that you wouldn't normally do, and it makes
Mm.
more of a day of it. I find if I love to have time where I'm doing fuck all, don't get me wrong, but if I'm having a weekend off and I'm not doing anything for that whole weekend, by the time I'm back to work, that following week becomes really monotonous because I've not had any real breakup in what I'm doing.
Mm.
Where sometimes it's nice just to do something a bit different.
Yeah, it almost feels like one giant evening, and then
Yeah,
you go back to
yeah,
work again.
yeah,
Yeah, because like I would say, because obviously you went away for the weekend, and I was saying Sabina, we went to this bakery in South Queensferry called Dunes.
yeah.
£25 I spent.
The bakery.
Yeah, two coffees and four pastries, £25.
Well,
It's fucking mental, isn't it? But when we were on our way back, because obviously we don't go to South Queens very often, and it was pissing down with rain, and we got all this coffee and stuff like that. I was like, but because I've never really had a lot of money, I've been able to go on holiday and stuff like that, like you do.
mm,
But I was like, for me, that was something completely different. That made me feel like I wasn't at home because it was a new town. We were trying new food. Like everything was new.
yeah, that's all you need to do.
Yeah, yeah.
That's all
And
you
it
need
just
to do.
felt well. Like we sat in the car and I put 90 days on the phone and we ate. She got a pistachio croissant, which was pretty good actually. Had a bit of lemon in it. And I had a chocolate croissant, which was vegan, and it was like the size of my hand.
Oh, right. So they were like big old boys.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like it was worth the money, but I couldn't believe it when I saw the fucking. I was like, holy shit, £25.
You used to Greg's, mate. It was like 80p or something.
Oh mate, if I bought all that in Greg's, yeah, it would have been like a fiver, and I would have got a couple stamps as well to go with it. Yeah, it's hard because when you say if you're trying to save money or and like you got Christmas coming up and stuff like that, and you're going to work, coming home, cooking dinner, going to bed,
Mm.
going to work. There's not really anything like, especially if a lot of people don't really have hobbies and things like that anymore. So even that is a break up from
And I think having a hobby
everything.
as well, you have to put in a lot of work for it. Like if you think about us with the podcast, we put in a lot of work for that as a hobby.
Hmm.
Like if we was to take up golf, you'd have to go and buy all the equipment and and put in the time at the weekends for it. It's like it's easy enough to say, "Oh, looking to get in a hobby," but not everyone has got the. Especially if you're in a rut, you probably haven't got the drive to get into something as much as that. I think doing something like what Dan's done, and like me and Charlotte do it occasion where there'll be like there's a place down the road called Old Tom's, which is just like a little cocktail bar, and we just go if on a Sunday we're doing fuck all. I'll say, should we just pop down there and have like a few little like they do like a nibbles menu and stuff, and we'll have a couple of cocktails and just sit there and just you're out of your house. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And you're doing something a bit different, and you find because you're not watching a screen and watching TV or whatever, you're actually interacting more with each other, and it actually you get more out of each other, which your girlfriend might be wanting as well. If you're feeling down and out and bored in life, she most likely is getting that feeling as well.
I love all them date night ideas where you got like where they like paint each other, or there's that
Mm.
one on Netflix where you can sit down and you can learn to draw Minnie Mouse or whatever, like the Walt Disney
Like
animated
draw
thing.
along, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Or like there's loads of places like there's one in Sabina's town I think where like you can go and you can like paint cups and stuff like that, which sounds really lame, but what you're in a slump, right? What are you doing otherwise?
Exactly.
And like Jamie's right, like she's probably feeling the same way as well. So like if you come out of like this idea for the two of you to do something together, I think that'd be a lot better.
Definitely, definitely. I I go through these stages a lot because can quite easy, especially if Charlotte's busy a lot of the weekends and I'm not doing anything. I find myself just getting more and more in into myself, if you know what I mean. If that
Mm.
makes sense.
Withdrawn.
Withdrawn, like I withdraw into myself, and then I end up just focusing on something like a Xbox game and stuff, and then you find you just haven't done anything for fucking weeks. And sometimes you need to, now that you've actively seen that you're in a rut, you need to find a way to get yourself out of it. Otherwise, you can easily just end up living like that, and it's not a nice way to live. That's how you get depressed.
Yeah, and then anger issues and your
It all
relationship
leads to
starts getting because
thing.
you're arguing all the time. Yeah,
Yeah.
but like to me, I think because like when I look back before Sabina, I was in a rut.
Mm.
I didn't really do anything. We were starting off doing the podcast, but I was basically doing fuck all.
Mm.
And I was thinking it the other day. I was like, I do the podcast now, and I do all the baking and stuff like that, and the editing, and then like me and Sabina go out and drive around, and I go to check all the time now and stuff like that. So it's like night and day from just constant.
And mentally, it makes you feel a lot better, doesn't it?
Yeah, because it feels like I'm actually achieving something. Because back when I was like before the podcast stuff like that, and I'd be on the dating things, I'd be like, I'm so fucking boring. Like they'd be like, what are your hobbies? And I'd be like, watching telly,
Yeah.
listening to music. You know what I mean? It's sort of like fucking hell. But like now you've got these other stuff. So
Mm.
it's like that's what I say about hobbies, right? Because when you get a hobby, it's something that you can be proud of because you're learning something new. And then when someone asks you something, you have a bit of enthusiasm when you talk about it.
Yeah.
They're like, "What did you do this weekend?" And you'd be like, "Oh, you know, if it was golf, you'd be like, oh, I went down the golfing range and I hit this and par that and bogey and I don't know the terms for golf. I think bogey's tennis.
Bogey and pars. It's the pars definitely golf.
Yeah, I think par. Then isn't it a handicap or something?
Yeah, handicaps, like how could you, if you got a lower handicap, you're a better player.
Yeah, that didn't make any sense to me. But you know, I live in Scotland, I should know. But yeah, there's things like that. I don't think there's any problem. Obviously, you're probably with your job because everyone hates their job. But like with your town and with your girlfriend, it's just a routine that you've got stuck in. So it just seems really bland. I think once you start actively seeking to do different and new things, it all seem a bit brighter again.
Yeah. I think if you give yourself time with that, and then if you're finding you're still in the same rut, but you've attempted to make a change, then you might have to start looking into your job, where you live in, etc. But don't make any rash decisions based on how you're feeling now. Try and make some small changes and see if it helps.
Yeah, for sure. But good luck. Hopefully we hear from you again and you've got like a new hobby or whatever. But we always like to
To
hear
go
from you.
zip lining.
Put a sick line in so I can get that free weight loss drug. Right. Hey guys, I came to your podcast from the episodes with Chuck being a big Chuck and Brad fan. We are too. Fucking love Chuck. He's good. Anyway, I'm a single girl just looking for some casual sex. I found a guy who ticks all the boxes for what I like, but I've now found out he is married. I am torn whether to end it now or to carry it on. It's his risk rather than mine. What's your opinion? Also, my advice for the guy that liked getting pegged, but his girlfriend didn't, is to get a dildo so he can do it all on his own. That was what I said. Just do it yourself. Be fine. Or like buy her a butt plug and then you play with it.
It would just make me laugh. She walks in and she walks in, and he's got it stuck in him, and he's like, just get out, get out. And she's like, I thought you wasn't gonna do it.
You're having flashbacks of the guy with the shoes, aren't you?
Yeah.
I still can't get over that. I was like, why wouldn't you buy the shoes for her and then like
just do it in your own time?
Yeah, not buy shoes specifically for yourself. Yeah, we've had a couple of this before. Normally, it's the other way around. It's like the latest has been like a few of the girls been
In
married or
relationships.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that. What do we say? Like now that you know that he's married, it's a bit shitty to carry on.
Yeah, I think if anything, you'll never come out of it in a good way, in a good light. Like, yeah, he's the one in doing all the wrong, and he's the one cheating on his spouse or whatever. But because now you know about it, it then implicates you to be like helping him with his secrets, if you know what I mean. Which
Mm,
I just don't. There's plenty more other guys that you could have casual sex with and no strings attached. That yeah, they might not tick all the same boxes, but there will be people out there that are just as like um, worth it as this guy is
mm.
without the extra baggage. If he wants to sort out his situation, but don't be like in one of them situations where they're constantly telling you, "Oh yeah, we're going to split up anyway, so it doesn't really matter," and you find out that the wife has no clue and she's like pregnant with his child or something. You don't want to be tied up in that.
I I think it's the best, like, because you just want casual.
Mm,
I think it's so much easier because obviously casual means you don't want any of the stress and all of the mental health
mm.
strain. So if it's just casual and he's found out he's married, just be like, see you later, block and delete, as Jamie say. Because it's
Yeah,
like, what was it? Because it's like you haven't emailed in to say you've caught feelings or whatever like that. You're like, yeah, we've been messing around and I found out he's married. It's like, well, move on to the next one then. That's what I would do.
I
Like,
would.
see you
Yeah,
later.
before you start getting dragged into his dramas, because eventually that will start happening. Where
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
either the wife will find out, or he'll be trying to like take you away in a weekend where the wife isn't about, and he's like having to stand in the bathroom on the phone pretending you're not there.
Ugh.
I could see these things happening.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not
I
worth
don't
it.
think it's
Fuck that.
worth it if you just want a casual relationship. I
Yeah.
think there's plenty more people that you could just go casual with.
Oh yeah, for sure. I don't know if I've ever been in that situation.
I've been the person cheating, went like years and years ago, and I would do some. Like, I would call people up on the way there, and then like I would take the fucking. These were the days you could take the battery out of your phone. I'd take the battery out of the phone the whole time I was with the other person, and then put it back in and then call them on the way back, and have no remorse over it because I was a little bastard. But then when I look back on that, I'm just like, I was such a dick. Like, and this guy is our age or older, married, doing this to someone that loves him. I don't think it's worth the person to be involved with that. I would never want to be that person that's like the bit on the side outside the relationship and the home wrecker type situation. Do you know what I mean?
No, for me, it's just that whole like it's like, oh, you've added them on Facebook or whatever, for instance, and then like a friend suggestion comes up, and then you see the picture of his wife, and now like you're out downtown or in shopping, and then you see his wife, but she has no clue, and it's just sort of like this whole mental health battle thing that's like fucking
And for me, he's obviously kept this from our listener as well.
yeah. Because no, you would though, wouldn't you?
Yeah, he would, but he's kept that from the listener as well. So it's like disingenuous anyway.
Because the way he's looked at it, right, is he's met this girl, and she's like, I don't want anything serious, and he's like, sweet,
Perfect.
like yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not gonna have to break up with my missus or turn around like 2 months down the line because she wants to marry me. Like if
he can
she,
have his cake and eat it, basically.
yeah, if she goes away, then I can just go back to my missus. And did you see that Netflix documentary about the website that let you get together people that wanted to cheat on their wife or husband?
Oh no, I didn't know about that.
Oh, it was mental. Like I can't remember what it's called, but basically there was a website that if you wanted, it was specifically for people that wanted to have affairs.
Oh
Everyone on
right,
that website was taken, was married,
that's mental.
and they swore to everyone. They were like, if you come on here, no one will ever find out. Everything's protected. We've got security up the wazoo. Like, you've got no worries. And then years down the line, like they're raking in fucking money, right? Raking it in, like to the point where they've got so much money, they just do whatever they fucking want with it.
Yeah,
And then this hacker comes along and is like, I've got every email, I've got everything between everyone over over the entire history of this company. And they're like, what? And he's like, so this hacker's like, if you don't come clean. I'm gonna release some of it. So then obviously they've got all this money. So the CEO's like, we can find this guy. So he flies in this bloke from Sweden. I think it's from Sweden, and he's like a hacker as well.
Yeah.
And he's like, I want you to find this person that's got all these details. You got the guy's giving him a week because that's how until they release it, and they can't find him, so he releases some of it. And then there's like YouTubers and things like there was a YouTuber in the show that was like a Christian YouTuber with his missus, and it come out that he had an account on there.
No way.
And I've got you into it now. Like you're gonna have to go watch it. I'm not gonna tell you anymore. But like it was really fucking good. But yeah, there's an entire website just based on people cheating on each other. I can't remember. It was so on the nose as well.
I got a message from a guy that I've been friends with for years. I haven't spoken to him in a while, but he was asking weirdly advice. I don't know whether he knows about the podcast or whatever. But he was like, he's married, been married for about 89 years. 89, not 89, 8 or 9 years, yeah.
Yeah.
And someone had filmed him while he was having a wank in his living room.
What?
So he obviously left his curtains open. Yeah, someone filmed him. Someone's filmed him through his fucking living room window. And he was like, I would send you it, but it's like really front viewing. I was like, what? I was like, do you not like pull the curtains and think, oh, people might see it from the street? He was like, I didn't even think about that. I was just in the mood. And he was like, I don't know what to do. They're trying to blackmail me. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they wanted 400 quid. And that was it. Yeah. 400 quid. And they will delete the video
Right.
that they sent him. And I was like, as soon as you give them 400 quid, they're just going to want more.
Oh, absolutely.
They will never delete that fucking video, yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, 400 quid is a really odd amount as well. Like, it's not 500 quid, it's not £1,000, it's nothing. I would just turn around to Charlotte and say, look, someone's filmed me while I'm having a wank in the living room. Like, nature took its course. Something happened. I was looking at Instagram and got horny or something, and like it is what it is. But no, this person was like full blown like panicking over it. He was like, if I tell her she's going to leave me and all this stuff, I was like, you just got to tell her. I said, do not pay that person 400 quid. Do not pay that person 400 quid. He ended up telling her, and she fucking left him for 2 weeks. She walked out and didn't come back for 2 weeks. And then she come back and she was like, it's okay and all this stuff. Said it was fine. But it took her 2 weeks to like get over it. And I was just like, he was just having a wank in his own house.
You're having a laugh. Yeah. What the fuck? Do you know, I saw a TikTok the other day that said regular masturbation, like once a day or at least once every couple of days, has shown to drastically reduce prostate cancer.
Well, that's what send me that link and I'll fucking send that to him.
I'll see if I can find the video, the woman on a podcast talking about it. Because it's talking about how like you're cleaning the fluids out, right?
Mm.
So like the more regular you do it, the cleaner it, like all your pipes and all that bollocks are. Because your prostate
I
is
said
involved.
to him, there's no way she's not doing it. So I said, she's judging you because someone filmed you doing it because you were silly enough to leave your curtains open. But I said, you should have just fucking closed your curtains and this would have happened. He was like, oh, I don't know if we're ever going to be the same, man. And all this stuff. They've got 2 kids.
Fuck's sake. I would have messaged the person, been like, you owe me £400.
I would just be like, good luck with that, innit? Post it everywhere.
I always say to you, don't I? I was like, if you're going to look in my window when I'm walking around naked and you see cock and balls, that's your fucking problem, mate. You should be looking in my window. I'd be like, £400. I was like, I've just given you a show for free. You should have fucking front row tickets. That TV, the Netflix show was called Ashley Madison's Sex Lives and Scandal.
Sex Lives and Scandal.
Yeah.
I do like a Netflix doc. I'll give it a go.
Oh, they're so fucking good, aren't they? Yeah. Yeah, I'm watching this one at the minute called Sweet Bobby. So yeah, I'm still waiting for like the hook because it's about a catfish. But I mean, he hasn't asked her for any money, and it's been like years, like fucking years. They've been talking. He hadn't asked for money or nothing. So I'm like, what? What's his hook? What's he want?
He's probably like a brother or something.
Oh, I don't know. I'm halfway through it, and she's still not giving nothing away. But he's like famous. He's been shot. He's now in witness protection in America, and then he had a stroke and he can't speak,
And
but he's
she's
hooked up to
believing
one of
all
his.
this.
Yeah, but no, yeah, because this is what I mean. Like she's got friends that have seen him, and
What?
like yeah, like seriously, I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the hook because I'm like, this is elaborate shit that he's fucking doing. I couldn't even tell you what's going on. Um, but yeah, it's really up to your morals. Like I said, because it's something casual. What's the problem of just leaving it at that? It's much easier and for you just to leave than to get wrapped up in this guy's fucking bullshit.
Yeah, that's for me. That's what it's all about in the end. Is don't try. Like for me, it would be trying to avoid getting caught up in his shit.
Yeah, that's the point in casual, right? You want to no strings. You just want to live your life, and he's going to cause you to have a lot of fucking problems if you carry on.
Yeah, yeah.
But good luck. Welcome to the family. Thanks for popping over once you heard Chuck was on the show, and hopefully you stay for a bit more.
Have to let Shock know.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Right. Hey guys, my new boss is now confiscating phones for the duration of our shifts. And I understand not using it in the public eye, but if I have an emergency or I will have no way to be contacted, do you know if they have the right to take your phones away? Is it possible? Oh, it possibly will make me look bad for not wanting to give it up, but I feel that it's my right to have it on me.
We're not fucking 10 years old. Do you know what I mean? I think I don't know what a lot of work policies are now because I'm away from the public eye. But when we used to be in retail and working with the public, it was always don't pull it out on shop floor as best as possible. Like stand there texting on shop floor.
So I just Googled quickly, can an employer take your phone off you? And it says, yes. Sorry, just leave you hanging there for a second. Some employers can take your phone off you if they have a mobile phone policy that allows them to do so. This is especially common in environments where there is a risk of sensitive business information being obtained using a camera phone.
Mhm.
Employers can also request the employee switches off or silence their phone during work hours, require employees to keep their phones in their locker or bag, or ban phones from meetings. Employers can track an employee's phones if it's connected to their company's network, but there is some limitations. For example, employees can track an employee's location using their given permission. Employers should be mindful when requesting employees to install work apps on their phones. So yeah, basically it's up to the work's environment. But I mean, I can't have my work phone on me basically for that reason because the company are paranoid and they don't want. And I'm working with knives and stuff. People don't lose their hands, but they don't want pictures and shit taken and videos and stuff like that. Like you can get fired for that.
Yeah, we have a tape that you can. We technically should be using it a lot more, but we do have a tape that you should put over your camera.
Oh yeah,
It's like a sticker that you put over your camera when you get on site. But I think if it's because I used to have to do it a lot working with young people when I was a manager, and a lot of them were like fucking 18, 19. They would be like on their phone constantly.
mm.
And I would have to say, right, it has to stay in your locker. It wouldn't last very long because it wasn't a very easy thing to keep up track of. But I think if you can be trusted to have it in your pocket without doing certain things, and there isn't like a protection against filming or something like that, then there's no reason for you not to have your phone on you. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
But if the company policy says it's the company's policy, then if you're worried about an emergency, if you've got a sick family member at home or something, you need to go and speak to the HR department and say, "I'm waiting for a phone call at any moment," and they
Yeah,
will just have they will put it past because they can't say no. Oh, someone's in hospital. You can't be like in contact.
mm.
They will have to back you up. So they'll have to back you up with it.
I since not having my phone, but like I leave my phone in my car. They want you to put it in a security hut, and I'm like, I'm not giving no one my phone. Like no
Mm.
one's touching my phone, so I leave it in my car. But even if I left this company and went to another one where they allow you to have your phone on you, I probably wouldn't. Like it's so
Distracting.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it like I found my time goes more like it goes faster without it
Yeah.
because I'm not constantly looking at it. So like I get where you're coming from, where you're like, it's my property and stuff like that. But you're also employed by someone. And if, like, when I was in the co-op, like, and Jamie, I was on my phone fucking constantly, like, all the time. And I think myself, like, how do fucking people put up with that? But I don't think they should be able to physically take it off you. Like, say, if you said to them, look, I won't have my phone on me, but it's staying in my bag, that's not unreasonable.
No,
Yeah, I mean, because it's your property, right? Like, say to them, like, if you break that or you lose it or someone steals it, you're going to replace it.
exactly.
Because that, at the end of the day, that's their thing, right? Like, if it's your property, then it's up to you to look after it.
Like we had a spate of people on, especially on late shift, watching loads of TikToks. It was before TikTok was out, so it was more like
Fines
short
and stuff like
videos
that.
and vines and
Yeah,
stuff like that. We had a spate of that, and I said to people, if you get caught on shop floor, the phone's getting taken off you. And people would never do it on the shop floor then, but you would
mm.
see them hang around the warehouse door a lot.
Yeah. Well, there's that. Yeah,
But I think as long as it's not in the customer's eye, and you don't directly break a rule that you've said you're not going to break,
mm.
then they'll be happy with it. They can't really say, look, this is why we're doing it. Like they can say this is why we're doing it, but if you say, look, I'm not going to get it out, but then you do get it out, it's your own fault.
Yeah.
Do you know
Oh,
what I
yeah, yeah,
mean?
for sure. There's one thing as well that employees can do though is like if they give you fair warning, they're able to do it. So it
Which is
gives them
why
a
you
lot
would have
of
got given a letter and then
yeah,
sign it
yeah.
and all that.
There's a lot of leeway for them to do stuff like that. So they, in a way, they will still be able to be like, well, say from Monday, we're taking your phones off you.
Mm.
Technically, they're allowed to do that, which is a shit ass fucking thing to do. But the companies can change their contract and policies whenever they want, which is a really shit thing as well. But they have to give you a certain amount of notice.
Yeah, and if they can get away with being sneaky about it, they will as well.
Yeah, exactly. Which is why I think like for you to not fight it 100%, like don't go up in arms, but say to them like compromise, right? Like I said, say like you understand that you know blah 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 blah. With all due respect, I'm not handing my property over to you, but I'm quite happily will leave it in my locker or leave it in my bag, or if you drive, I will leave it in my car,
Mm.
and then problem solved, right?
Yeah,
But Jamie's right as well. Like if you have an emergency, that's another conversation, right? Like, oh, someone's in hospital, someone's sick. Can I have my phone on me because I will receive a call, and then once the call's over, I can then put my phone away.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough. Because
Like
at the
it
end of the
happened
day,
with
you're an
me when my
employee.
brother's missus was giving birth. They called me just before I got into work. So then when I went into work, I said, "Look, I'm putting my phone on loud, and if we're in a meeting, I'm going to leave
Mm.
because I like." Then, like obviously, births, anything could happen in it. So you're thinking, just in case, you want to know the news straight away.
Yeah,
And there was no issues with that. Where normally you'd be saying, like, if you said, "Oh, I'm going to get my phone out in a meeting," it's like you're a fucking alien normally. So, but if you give them a good reason, they're not going to go against you.
yeah. But like, remember, at the end of the day, you're an employee,
Mm,
and they're just trying to do what's best for the business, which is shit when you're getting the rules thrown at you.
mm-hmm.
But sometimes it's best to like compromise than to be up in arms. And you'll look like the better employee for trying to resolve it rather than argue.
Yeah,
And in a
definitely.
way, sometimes you got to think, right? Like, sometimes it's best not to have your phone on you, like you're at work, right? Unless you're in a job where it's really boring and you've got loads of downtime.
Mm.
If you're on a shop floor or you're in a warehouse or anything like that, like you've got stuff to do. Just like get on with it.
Yeah, I think especially if this guy's a younger guy, they're not used to not having their phone, and I think that's what the
Yeah.
problem is. Everyone's so it's attached to your arm at all times most of the time, and that.
I tell you, it's fucking lovely not having your phone on you.
Mm,
That's what I mean. If I left this place, I'd probably still
you
leave it
still
in my
do it.
car. Yeah, yeah. Not that Jamie knows anything about that because he still has his phone on him.
Oh yeah.
It does suck though when like I'm trying to make plans for dinner and I'm
Oh
like,
yeah.
"What do you want for dinner?" And I have to go back in. So now I've got to wait 3 hours to find out that she's written. I don't know.
What do you want?
Yeah, I don't know. What have we got in the fridge? I don't know because I didn't take it out of the freezer. Um, but yeah, good luck. Like I said, just try and when they give you new rules, your instant reaction is to be like, I don't want to follow that. But just step back and think about what they're asking you to do. Most of the time, it's not unreasonable. Sometimes it is. Most of the time, it's not.
Yeah,
You
people
know what I
don't
mean?
like change. That's what it comes down to.
No, but you'll figure it out, and I'm sure you come to a compromise where you hold onto your phone and works happy as well. More than likely, when things like this come out, it's because some dickhead's overdoing it, and instead of them penalising that one guy,
They have
they're
to
doing it for all of you.
blanket it. Yeah.
Yeah. So find out that one guy and give him a kicking. Hey guys, so after a long time waiting, my high school crush has become single. She and I have been friends for years, and I've never acted on any of my feelings as she's been in a long term relationship. The guy recently cheated on her at college, and now I'm spending a lot more time with her, and it's becoming harder and harder to deny how I feel. I'm certain I'm concerned to express my feelings just in case she thinks I'm looking for a rebound because I want more than that. Any suggestions on how to escape the friend zone? Am I being too quick on the mark? That's rough, man. If she's just come out of a long term relationship.
I think you are being a bit quick to the mark. I don't know. Like it's a rough one because in my head, like I would say, because I've always been fuck it, don't worry about it type of attitude when it comes to stuff like that. I would be shooting my shot just to see if I could do it, but at the same time, if you want to keep that friendship, that could break the friendship if she's not into it,
Mm,
and it's a choice between whether you want to give her enough time and take the chance that she's going to end up getting with someone else before you've expressed yourself, not say anything at all, or shoot your shot and see what happens. You have to figure out what's the least damaging of them three scenarios to you.
mm,
If you think you can't go any longer without shooting your shot and seeing what happens, then go for it. But if you think you can wait a little bit so it doesn't just end up being a rebound if she says yes to you and says yeah about going out or whatever. But I think if it was going to happen, it would have happened already if you know each other for a long time.
mm.
Doesn't always necessarily happen like that, but I don't know. It's hard. It's hard.
It's difficult with the cheating, right? Because like it's not like a long term relationship they broke up because they just grew apart. Like
She's vulnerable at the minute.
he's hurt her,
Mm.
and she's essentially come to you for like that shoulder to cry on. And for me, it feels like if you proclaimed your love to her when she's looking for a shoulder to cry, and you're not that anymore.
Yeah,
She doesn't feel like she can come to you things like that because she knows that you feel differently. It's a
yeah,
really fucking hard thing to do with. You got to listen to what she's saying though, right? Like if she's denouncing all men and saying how we're all pigs and this and that, it's probably not the best thing to be like, well, do you want to go out for a date then?
yeah.
You know what I mean? When she's like, fuck them, fuck, they're all dickheads. Oh, we can go out for a drink. It's but if she's like, I don't really know what she would be like saying about how where's all the nice men and I'd like to find this and I'd like to find that. I
Someone
mean, I
that treats
suppose
her
you could,
right.
yeah. I suppose then you could go in with it. Um, I'm at the stage now where it's like life's too short, and people always get over shit, right? So like, I'd much rather just tell her, not in like a full bound, I've loved you for eternity,
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
think we could be married and have kids, and I'd love to have a house together,
yeah.
and like maybe when we're old we can do this, and we get our own plots of buried and
And you wake up and find yourself blocked.
yeah. But maybe you could say something like, oh, I have some feelings for you, and I don't know whether this is the right time, but I just, I needed to tell you before, it gets to this or gets to that. I think that's
Mm.
a lot softer and calmer way of saying that you like her,
Yeah,
and hopefully then, but like whenever you do stuff like this, like it's a shock for that person whether they've been in a long term relationship or not. So it's a 50-50 gamble whether they're going to be
Oh,
running
100%.
away.
And if they've seen you as a friend for a long time, they might not see you as anything else. And it'll be hard for them to see you as something else. So you have to be prepared for that if that's the case. But
Hmm.
it's worked before. It has worked. We've had people on here that we've said don't do it, and they've gone ahead and done it, and it's worked out. So I think you just kind of need to weigh it up. What's more important to you at the minute?
Hmm.
And I totally agree with Dan as well. Do not go in all guns blazing, declaring love, and turn up with roses and shit. Like that shit works in the movies, but it don't work. It does
Yeah,
not work in real life.
100% fucking ridiculous. They're just liars. They're lying to you.
But
It's
I
never
don't
worked.
necessarily believe in rebounds either. I know a lot of people say about rebounds and stuff, but I like when I was in relationships, I always just went from one relationship to another. I never had much gaps in between, and when I did have a gap, I was sleeping with people casually anyway. So it was like I never really rebounded, if you know what I mean. So there is people that treat a rebound like a gospel thing, though. That they'll be like, "Oh, I can't get with this guy because he's the guy I slept with after my ex." Do you
Mm.
know what I mean? Which, if that's the type of person she is, you need to be mindful of that.
Yeah, like we only have so much information, right? And I think
Mm,
at the end of the day, if you're spending so much time with her and you're actually listening to what she's saying, then you should know whether or not it's the right time to go forward. Like I said,
yeah,
if she's really fucking hurt and she's just come to you because she wants a friend, then you should know that that's what all she wants, and it's probably a bad time to do it.
yeah.
But it's hard, man, especially with like that's why I hate cheating and stuff like that because it's such a mind fuck.
Fucks people up.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And it depends as well on the severity. Like, was it like a one-off cheating, or was he doing it for fucking months and she just found out that, and he's now dating her and has a kid? Yeah, I mean, it's like there's so many levels of cheating as well.
Yeah, yeah. And how hurtful it could be is a big difference in that.
Yeah, how long they were together?
Mm,
Did they have a house together and all this sort of stuff? It's fucking nah. It's not worth it. It's not fucking worth it.
definitely not. Definitely not.
No, but be strong, man. Like it's a different situation to be in, and the main thing is there that you're there to help her. But we hope you two get together. Like by the sounds of it, she needs someone that is half decent for her, and the
Yeah,
fact that you haven't gone guns and blazing,
shows you're a good
sh-
guy.
yeah, and you have respect for her. So we hope you both end up together.
Mm,
And if you want a bit of hand, just make a list of this episode and then be like, "What did you think about that email?" And she's like, "Oh, that was really nice." Yeah, well, that was about you, love. That was me and you.
yeah, play
I
this clip
I
and
emailed
then
that in.
just stare her directly in the eyes the entire time. And then when she looks over, just raise a rose slowly from beneath the table and just hand it over. That's how you get
playing
blocked.
playing just the two of us. Just the two of us. Poor guy. What horrible advice. But good luck. I'm sure you'll be all right. Greetings. I just wanted to run my costume idea past the podcast to see how bad an idea it might be. I'm still going to do it, but worth the chance to spark a conversation. I like your confidence. To begin with, I'm a big guy, 400 pounds and just under 6 foot. A few months ago, I was asked at work if I had a stage name when I was at work. Oh, if I had a stage name when our private dancers, and being a smart aleck, I responded bread truck. And now a small number will only call me that. I've decided to take this to another level by dressing up as a bread truck for Halloween, but as a hooker. So I'm trying to get the image in my head while I'm reading it out. What the hell does a bread truck hooker look like? I feel like this is a sort of email that needed pictures to go along with it, so I can get the full
Like references.
references. Yeah. Um, my wife has decided to accompany me as a pimp, and we are having a lot of fun with it. My question is: does me as a man dressing in women's clothes as a hooker make me a culture vulture, or put another way, am I appropriating? Just thought you might have fun with this if you Haven't recorded for Halloween yet. Love the show, and you should always do what you want and how you want to do it. If Reddit doesn't like it, they can get bent. P.S. I did send this to Tim, Steve, Dave as well, but I don't know if they'll cover it. Why dressing as a hooker means you have to dress like a woman?
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
I'm pretty sure male hookers wear like arseless chaps and things, right? Like a
I
cowboy.
don't know. I've never seen a male hooker in real life.
I was trying to think of that song that they're about a cowboy. Can't remember.
It could be. What I found out about today was a trisexual. Have you ever heard of a trisexual?
I have not heard of a trisexual. What is that, Jamie?
A trisexual is where you're all three genders. You're male, female, or non-binary, but you never lean one way or the other. So you could be all three at once, yeah. So what I would say is go as a trisexual.
I thought
exactly. Exactly, Dad. I was like, imagine their fucking pronouns, yeah. But anyway, I think what you should do is go as a trisexual.
Bread truck hooker.
Bread truck hooker. Preferably Warburtons or something. You might not get that reference because it's American. But
Wonder Bread.
Wonder Bread, yeah.
I was trying to think of a sexy word.
You're
there.
being very 2024 because you're full blown trisexual, isn't it?
What?
Turn up on a tricycle. Just go full whack.
What could he have instead of Wonder Bread? No, because Wonder Bread is basically your ass, isn't it? Wonder Bread. Or you could have Wonder Buns. Wonder Buns.
Wonder Buns.
Underbuns.
Underbuns. Yeah.
That sounds like a superhero, doesn't it? Captain Underbuns.
I'll be back in a sec. Right, I'm back.
I think Halloween's Halloween, right? Like, as long as I think the only Halloween costume that you can't do ever is blackface.
Yeah, you can't really go blackface or like be someone like Adolf Hitler or someone
brown face. You can't put like skin makeup on. I think that's a rule, right?
Yeah, or like you can't go dressed as like Jimmy Savile.
Jimmy Savile pretty funny because it's Halloween, right? It's got to be got to be bad.
But yeah,
no, I don't.
Underbun, the trisexual, the trisexual hooker,
the bread truck hooker. Everyone goes as hookers, right? I think women, it's usually an excuse to go like slutty, and I don't think
there's nothing wrong with that.
No, at the end of the day, it's a costume, right? And you got to have like a laugh. And I don't know anyone that would get offended by a bread truck hooker. I can't get my head around it. Like, is it just a hooker that goes around in a bread truck with their pimp?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to Google. Jesus Christ!
I googled what a bread truck was,
and is it just?
It looks truck? It looks like a UPS van.
Was that a box?
Oh,
actually, got Wonder Bread on it.
I can hear Google going off somewhere, and I don't know who's talking to it. I've got too many in this house. So was that?
It looks like it's actually got Wonder Bread on it.
That's what is important. I think it'd be a fucking quality costume. I definitely think pictures are needed.
Definitely,
because I think it'd be fucking hilarious.
I think it depends how much flesh is showing. I don't want to see any ball sack or anything.
I don't know why when I read this email originally, I thought he was going to be like have like a bag over himself, like the bread bag, not bread truck. Like it looks like a loaf of bread in a bag with some legs sticking out of it. I
think that would be a good like thing on it, and then draw like a bikini on it. Good twist. But how are you going to get a Wonder bag that big?
You'd have to custom make it, wouldn't you? And then isn't Wonder Bread bags transparent as well? So you're going to see some flesh underneath it. Well, I suppose if you're a hooker, you want to show something.
If you like dance and you start sweating, it just becomes skin tight.
Oh.
It just looks like you're in a vacuum pack. Do they then vacuum pack beds?
Yeah.
Weird kinks.
And all the water would be like pooling between your gooch.
Oh. Now that's an underbun.
Oh, sweaty underbun. I think your missus has got off lightly going as a pimp. I think that's like...
Yeah, don't go blackface as a pimp. Don't go like full-blown like Cat Williams or Snoop Dogg pimp. Like, make sure...
Yeah, but I would wear
the suit.
More like The Mask. like a
Yeah,
yellow suit with a. Is
the
it
cane.
fedora? No. What's the hat called?
I don't know, the big ass hats of it.
Why? I don't know why fedora came to. I don't think that's even close to.
Fedora's a similar hat, but you want like a bigger version.
Oh, what, like a wide brimmed one?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, fedora. I wasn't that far off then. I didn't make myself look like a fool. Yeah, you just want a wide brimmed fedora
yeah,
with a feather sticking out of it
and like a cane,
and a cane and some
and then just
jewelry.
do like the pimp walk. Do you know where they how they walk funny?
Yeah, and then you sort of like swing the cane out as you're walking.
It would be good to get like a, do you know, like a dog chain and
What to put
put the
round the
collar
Wonder
around
Bread?
his neck,
That
around the
no,
bread's neck.
no, I don't like
No,
that. It's too much.
that's too much. That's too
That's too much.
sexualized.
Yeah. Well, it's more like dominatrix now. Then he's not. That's not a pimp, is it? You don't want him chained
Dad,
up. You
he's
want to
dressed as
let.
a fucking Wonder Bread.
No, he's not. He's just a Wonder truck, a bread truck. When Wonder Bread isn't even in this conversation, we've added that. This poor guy ruined his costume now. Yeah, I think it's fucking brilliant. I think it sounds great. We don't really have food trucks. I'm gonna go off subject now. Like bread trucks, sorry. We have milkmen that give bread. Milkmen have bread on their trucks.
Yeah, we don't have Milkman's the only daily delivery thing we have.
Unless you get like a massive Warburton's truck that's just full of bread.
Yeah, but that's more delivering to shops, isn't it? I suppose that would deliver to like a old people's home or something.
I don't know, but yeah, I'm away this year in Czech for Halloween, so we haven't really sorted anything out this year. So that's fun.
That's the normal fucking two men attitude towards it.
Yeah, mate. I think is this the episode that's going to come out on Halloween?
Possibly.
If it is, happy Halloween, everyone. Fuck you. I want candy. I want candy. What happened to the good old days where it was either sexy cats or clowns? Grim
Oh no!
Reaper.
Next episode we record will be the episode that comes out.
Oh, okay. I'll take that back then. Fuck your Halloween.
You might get some scary stories if people listen to this by then.
An email in a week before it's been released.
Yeah. Basically, it's not happening.
No, pretty much not. No, maybe I can think of a game or something, but maybe I can't. What was it? What was the other one? I can't remember. I did last year. Didn't you do something about scenarios or something? Halloween scenarios. If I got kidnapped by someone.
Oh yeah. Well, that was the first year or the second year. I think one year we had someone on. Or did we just discuss horror films with someone?
No, I don't know.
Memories.
But yeah, but that's all we got for this
late.
episode. Yeah, I know, right? I'm knackered. My back is killing me. I'm old. I need to lay down.
Right. So I've already got the title for this fucking podcast. This one anyway. The Wonder Bread fucking hooker.
Underbuns.
Wonder buns. Underbuns.
Oh, here you go. Yeah, Wonder Buns, Underbuns.
Yeah. So on that note, we'll end it there. If you've got any content ideas, questions, or feedback for the show, send it into twomennohope@gmail.com. And of course, remember we've got the merch up there, and we've got the Essence Vault code there as well for all your Christmas gifts and all your birthday gifts towards the end of the year. Make sure you check them out, and I'll see you on the next one, Dan.
See you later, man.
Bye.